What is up, 511 Media family? It is Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. I am here with my friend Des Perkins. We're going to talk about how she is a human trafficking survivor, what work she's doing to make a difference for other human trafficking survivors and people that are in the life, and the conference she has coming up this very Saturday. All this and more coming up on the Mike Harvey Show. Let's go.
Cowboy up, California, time to fight for faith and freedom, truth and light. Head on tight, let the people know you're riding with the Mike Harvey Show.
All right, Des, it is awesome to have you in here. And man, you know, I feel like we're already like you're one of those people that like you get to know instantly, and you just get like that love, like you like. And I love the conversation that we had prior to coming in here. You know, God, just such an amazing story.
Thank you so
right?
much.
And I assume you've
that.
shared this story quite a bit, right?
A whole lot. A whole lot.
So we got about 30-ish minutes or so, but go ahead and give me enough of the story so that we have time to get into the other things as well. But to let folks know that are watching this, like, how did you become the Des Perkins that you are now, the character God called you to be, to step into that light and make a difference for people that were currently being trafficked and survivors as well?
Getting to the place I am now was definitely not easy. It took a lot of prayer, took a lot of work on myself, and people starting to finally believe in me, or me believing in actual people, because I didn't trust anybody. So took a long time. You know, as you said, I'm a survivor, but I'm not just a survivor of human trafficking. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, sexual assault, molestation, rape, grooming, you know, all of the things that could go wrong went wrong.
And I got to tell you, as a dad of 3 kids and a daughter dad as well, got boys and a girl, what I know of what happened to you, I'd have a hard time. I'd have a very hard time not being in jail right now. I got to tell you that.
Right. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that, but it is honestly by the grace of God. And I'll be honest, back then when I was going through everything I went through, I didn't believe in God. You know, I was like, how could this stuff be happening to me? How can these people do these things to me? And as a child, I was like, where is God? He forgot about me. He doesn't hear me. He doesn't see me. So I was not a believer. It took until I got to be an adult and just started seeing people, and then writing the books that I wrote and meeting Senator Shannon Grove, and people started believing in me. And that's when I finally was like, okay, he actually was there the whole time, because I'm able to tell my story now and help individuals. So he kept my mind, and here I am doing what I do now.
So how much of that story can we share on air?
I have a book on my story, so we can go.
Let's get into details, because I mean, people hear about human trafficking all the time. This is a cause that I've cared about long before I was ever a dad. And but now, like, hearing your story just like is so emotional, right? And I'm sure it is for you every time you tell it, but but I think it's important that we get some of those details out, so people is like, oh, this is like serious, and what this looks like, and you know what you were saying about, you know, how many people get human trafficked and all that stuff. But let's get into the story right now in detail.
Okay, so I was, you know, it took, if we're going to start from the beginning, I would call that the start of the grooming, the mental manipulation. In my book, I talk about how my mom got with this guy and all the different things that he did before he even touched me. You know, he started playing with my mind, doing different things to me, as far as I thought I was going to have a pet, and he killed the pet in front of me. He made me stand in a frog pond. He riled up chickens to peck at me, you know, just all the mental things to make sure I never told anything, and I was pretty much his pawn. to do whatever he wanted to do. And then it just went from there.
And
then
your mom allowed this to happen.
My mom was on drugs. My mom was
I was thinking that as you were telling me the story. I was like,
Yeah,
there had to have been drugs involved.
definitely drugs involved. I don't know if you've ever heard of ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. Well, I have all 10 of them. And
Okay.
they say when you have the more ACEs that you have, your brain rewires. So I was constantly in this thing called fight or flight,
So
but I was a
what are the
fighter.
10?
There's sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, a parent maybe in jail, something like that. Just it's 10 of them. I can't even think of all 10 off the top of my head.
But it's any single one of them is traumatic for a child.
Exactly. But if you have all 10 of them, now your mind is just in a constant whirlwind. You're just trying to survive. I was in a constant state of survival.
And you know, with everything you've gone through, how long did you go through that period, by the way?
I would say I was 5 or 6. I was 5 or 6. My grandmother was murdered when I was 3.
Yeah.
So that was even part of it. And then 5 or 6 is when everything started happening, and it was well into my high school years. And then everything else came. So, like I said, I've been a victim of domestic violence, sexual assault, molestation, rape, all the things. So after the trafficking, I get with the wrong person and that person is hitting me and beating me. That's the domestic violence. Then the molestation and rape, that's while I'm a teenager. So it was all the different things throughout my life.
So you got out of it when you were a teenager?
I was in the foster system, lived in Jameson for months.
And so many foster kids go through this exact
Jameson is honestly, just to be truthful, a hub for human trafficking. So those kids are considered unwanted. No one is coming for them. Every time we went to Jameson, we would run away and go back to our mom and get put right back in Jameson.
Why do you say those kids are unwanted?
Because they're in the system. I know when I was in Jameson, let's just talk about me. I know when I was in Jameson, nobody wants a teenager. I was 14, 15.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a teenager that age in their house. They want the little kids.
Yeah.
The older kids are always forgotten.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times, by the time they're that age, they're troubled and they act out and they do all these things.
And we're bad. We're considered bad kids.
But there's no bad kid.
No, there's not. No, there's not. Especially if you don't know their backstory.
Yeah.
But they chose to feel like we were the bad kids. So we don't want them in our house.
Yeah.
We want some kids that are little, that if we decide to keep them, we can raise them, conform them to what we want. But
it's got to take a special person to bring someone like that into your house too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And all foster parents aren't special.
No. In fact, sadly, would you say the majority of them are doing it for profit, or there's at least a percentage of them?
There's a percentage that are doing it for the money, just because it's an extra paycheck. Maybe there's someone who is trying to go through nursing school, or and okay, if I become a foster parent, I get this amount of money extra every single month.
And I have some very dear friends of mine that they are foster parents, but they've, I think, adopted every single one of them.
Yeah.
And you don't get money after you adopt them.
No.
But they do it for the right reasons, and I know plenty of people that do. But there's a sad high percentage of people.
Yeah, I was in 4 different foster homes. The first 3 were absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But the very last one, they let me stay. And they took care of me. They helped me get my first job, my first car, all that stuff. But then when it was time for me to get out of the foster system, you have to leave because there's nothing else for anyone. And that's where all the other stuff started coming in, because I still wasn't healed because I was just living.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were sharing with me, and this is something probably most people don't know. Probably many more people know than knew, like, say 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But with the prostitution, like most of those, if not all of them, are human trafficked.
a very good majority. Um, we as survivors and those in the life, we want people to understand that truly language matters.
Yeah.
If you're driving down Union, those 9 times out of 10 are not prostitutes, they're trafficked victims.
Mm.
So watch the language that you use. If you see someone like that, if you see them in the scanty clothes and the skimpy clothes and everything, just don't judge. I mean, God doesn't judge.
Yeah.
He sees them as they are and still loves them. So don't judge, because you never know that. I'll say you never know what that person is going through, but you never know where that person came from either, or what they might need.
Well, I remember, and I was sharing this with you before we were recording. When I went to New York City,
Mm-hmm.
and I was with some family, and we were there because this was quite a while ago. But we wanted to go and see the New York Yankees play at their old stadium. We're Yankee fans, and I know
Yeah.
the cowboy hat might assume something different, but no, we're Yankee fans. Have been. I was born a Yankee fan,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to see Yankee Stadium before they closed down the old stadium, open the new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were at the New York Hilton or something. It wasn't like a swanky hotel, but it was a nice hotel.
Yeah.
And through the lobby there walks in this girl, and I was so young and naive and innocent. I was in my early 20s, and I looked at this girl, and I was like, well, something just didn't seem right.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, she's very beautiful, but the way she's dressed is like. And like my mind, it was like, well, she's get asking for the wrong attention,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. But
kind of revealing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad's like, oh, well, she's a prostitute. I was like, oh. And then I realized, like, well, this girl couldn't have been more than 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, but the way she was dressed, she was so beautiful, and I remember it to this day for that reason. And just like my heart broke, and I've always had a heart for that issue.
And she could have actually been younger than 20. It's just
very
the way
likely.
they
Probably was.
Yeah, it's the way they dress them.
Yeah, I mean, she was certainly younger than me, and I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, it's the way traffickers dress. They want them to look that certain age,
right?
So no one will approach them.
Yeah.
Wow. As no one, as far as police officers and everything. Yeah.
So you got pulled out of the life.
I wouldn't say I got pulled out of the life. What I would say is what happened to me was called familial trafficking. So it's when you're trafficked by a family member. It can be a mom, a dad, sister, brother, uncle, grandparents. So that familial trafficking, no one really knows when it starts or anything. So I'm living in the home with my trafficker. My trafficker was my mother. The very first person who trafficked me was my mother. So the foster system, the Department of Human Services, the CPS, nobody knew that was going on, even though we were in the system because we had been taken from my mom before. You wouldn't assume that this child is being trafficked by her parent.
Yeah.
So it's very underreported. So the average age of entering trafficking is between 11 and 14 years old. But if you're trafficked by a family member, it can be much, much younger.
When it was for you, right?
Oh, definitely much younger for me.
I'm sorry, and people in San Francisco, people in Sacramento, is the answer to the question. What kind of a person goes after a 5-year-old?
Someone very sick in the head. Someone very sick in the head. But I think the better question, because you mentioned San Francisco and Sacramento, why did it take so long for these bills to even come forward?
Because we're in a super majority one-party rule state with the party in power that is supportive of these types of activities. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
And I say all the time, Des, it's not Democrat versus Republican, blue versus red. This is good versus evil.
Absolutely.
And I don't care what side of the aisle you stand on, you got to stand against evil.
You got to stand against evil, and something that would protect our children. I remember when I first went up to Sacramento with Senator Grove, the bill was called SB 1042. They shot us down.
Yeah.
And that was my first time ever being in a place like that of power. And to just hear the different things some of the senators were saying as they were on that panel, what was the problem? It's protecting kids.
Right.
And that was not even the conversation. It was, well, my people this and my people that, and we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that. This is too broad. And I'm like, it's protecting kids.
Right. What year was this?
Oh gosh. The bill has, I want to say 21 or 22, maybe.
Okay, so not even that long ago.
Oh no. These bills, every year a new bill has come. I want to say it might have been 21, because 22 for SB 14,
And
23
14, right?
14, then AB 379, which was Senator Grove and Krill.
Well, and Grove was the one pushing behind every single one of these.
Single one.
And
of them.
She's one of the few true fighters in
she absolutely
Sacramento.
is.
And there are others. I have other friends that are up
Yes,
there, and
yes.
you probably know most of them, if not all of them. So she's not the only one, but certainly
But she's the one who finally got it to come
over the finish line. And it started with we got to exclude 16 and 17 year old. Now, didn't we get that over the finish line?
We
just
got
recently?
that over the finish line just recently. Every time they were taking something out of every single bill that was presented.
Took so much heat. Well, why'd you compromise? And her rationale made sense to me the whole time. Look, Shannon's a friend of mine. She's a good, godly Christian woman that cares about people. But she understands when she's got to make a small compromise. It's like
for the big picture,
right? It's like playing football. Well, let's protect these kids first, and we'll come back for the next fight. And she said that from the beginning, and it's exactly what she did.
Every single year, she told us every time, literally to our face as survivors, we're coming back next year for this. We're coming back. We're not going to stop fighting. Right. And if I have to say anything about her, she's a godly woman and a woman of her word.
Yes, she is. And
she's
I'll back her up.
Word.
She's one of the few people in Sacramento. I'll back up I'll fight to the death.
Absolutely. I tell her, I call her mom.
Yeah.
I call her mom because I've never had a person like her that cared so much about what happened to me and how I can become just a greater individual.
But I'll tell you,
amazing.
Nathan will be another one. He'll follow right in her footsteps.
She supports him. So, if she support him, I support him. I know she wants us protected and wants us safe. So,
so do I.
If that's who she's going for, that's who I'm going for.
Right. So I know that man's a fighter, and so is David Tongapaw, another great fighter. We have some good people in the valley.
Yes,
that
we
do.
That
care about our
we
kids.
Do.
Let's talk about the work that you guys are doing now,
and
that was a big part of the work, right? Is getting those bills over the finish line.
That was a big part of the work. So with my nonprofit, and Senator Grove actually helped me create my nonprofit. But with my nonprofit, we aid. It's called Empowerment, Des Perkins Foundation. We aid at-risk youth and human trafficking victims and survivors, but anyone that's going through, like, for instance, the domestic violence, the sexual assault, all of that, we help in that. In my nonprofit, we also have a survivors fund. So survivors can apply for it, and we help with different food, clothing, court fees, different things like that. We host annual conferences. We host empowerment seminars for youth. We did, just this past summer, we did a academy called Empower Her for 30 women and girls. And had different speakers coming in and everything. We've taken youth to amusement parks that have never been out of the city, just that restorative practice, because they need to have some joy in their lives.
Yeah, they do.
So that's some of the things that we do.
That's all they should have, is joy in their lives.
Absolutely.
So How difficult is it to get out of the life?
It depends. I guess I wouldn't say it depends on how long you've been in it, because you can get out of it, but if they've just played with your mind for so long, sometimes it's almost impossible.
Mm,
What I will say is,
people are so
if
broken.
you run across a survivor and you someone in the life, and you're talking to them, and then they decide to go back, and then they come back to you and they talk to you again, but then they decide to go back, but then they talk to you again, but then they decide to go back, don't ever stop talking,
Mhm.
because you don't know if one day something that you said they'll remember and they'll be free,
Why would they decide to go back?
because it's all they know, because there's mental manipulation,
It's like the prisoners that are
fear,
institutionalized, right?
and
Yeah.
fear. We don't know why each individual survivor goes back. Sometimes, what if that trafficker, that pimp, has something over them? What if they're holding their kids against them? What if they're holding their, as far as undocumented individuals, what if they're holding their passports, their visas? What if they're doing all of this in labor trafficking? What if that's the only job that they have that provides them with a home, even though they're having to do all this stuff for this person,
Mhm.
but they have a home? So
Yeah.
you don't know what a person is going through or experiencing for them to stay.
So how do you guys get funded?
Donations.
It's all individual donors.
It's all been individual. I've been honestly blessed with the help of Senator Grove, but I've been honestly blessed. My ultimate goal is to have a building
Mhm.
where I can house everything, where I can do trainings, where I can have youth come in and teach them different things, resume building, interview techniques, have a clothing closet. That has been my goal for since I've opened. So that is what I initially want. But right now, we don't have a location.
What is the footprint of your work?
What do you mean?
Like what area, geography?
Oh, Bakersfield.
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield, Kern, Kern County. Honestly, if we get a call to McFarland, if we get a call to Taft,
Uh-huh.
and someone needs our help, we just recently started helping a survivor from a whole nother state that just moved here. So
How many people are in Kern County are being trafficked?
a lot. A lot. I couldn't give you a number because it's not reported.
Right.
Everybody's not reported.
It's in the thousands.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. And they're right now they're after our kids like never before.
Right.
And in the high schools.
Right. Well, and because it's not, I mean, yes, it's people, but they're being manipulated. This is evil.
It absolutely is evil.
So from the pits of hell.
Absolutely.
That's where this is coming from.
Yes.
Satan wants your kids.
He wants us all.
Right.
He wants us all.
Right.
He put that little thought in your head and it manifests to something totally different. That's why we have to be very careful what we do, who we talk to, and what circles we run in.
Who we allow in our home.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you have this event coming up this Saturday.
Yes.
What's going on?
Our Eyes Wide Shut Human Trafficking Symposium.
Mm-hmm.
This is my third year doing it. It's going to be at Bakersfield College. It's in the Renegade Room. We provide continental breakfast. We provide lunch. Lunch is going to be catered by Chef Lino's.
Okay.
We have Senator Grove coming. She's the keynote opening speaker. Okay. We have Assistant Chief Brett Stratton, who's going to be coming and speaking. We have
all these people so far.
Yes. We have a male survivor from San Diego who's been on TED Talks and everything. He's an international speaker.
Let's take a break and talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So everyone thinks, we talked about this before.
Yes.
Everyone thinks, well, it's mostly women, right? And there is a higher percentage of women.
It is.
But there's a lot of males.
There's a lot of males. So 1 in 3 women or girls can be trafficked, but for the guys, it's 1 in 6. Guys or boys, it's 1 in 6, and that's every 30 seconds.
That is like 6 people, one of them's being trafficked.
Absolutely.
Every 30 seconds.
I do that count. When I go and do my speaking engagements, I do that count. I don't tell them what it's about until after. Right. And I tell them count 1, 2, 3.
10 people, 3 of them are girls, 6 of them are boys.
Mm-hmm.
2 of those are being trafficked.
Absolutely. that fast. In California, California is a hub for human trafficking.
Well, how much of an impact does that illegal immigration have on that?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure about that. I just know that they are trafficked as
Mhm.
well. We have, and also another thing, just today when we were at the Board of Supervisors, indigenous people,
Hmm.
they are trafficked. MMIP, they are trafficked at an alarming rate as well.
MIP?
MMIP is the I don't know the name of it, but it has to do with the indigenous tribe.
Okay.
We have
And that's a group that isn't talked about very often.
at all.
Yeah.
Would you not, being around the Tejon Indian tribe, I've learned that you know who the first trafficking victim was? Pocahontas.
Really?
Yes, they do. They do a training on that.
Huh.
She was trafficked.
So that whole John Smith was
Absolutely.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, she was a trafficking victim.
So let's get back to the Saturday.
This
So
Saturday,
you have
Mhm.
someone
A male survivor. He's a lived experience expert. He has spoken internationally. He's spoken on TED Talks. He also is a published author. His name is Jesse Leone. So he'll be the afternoon keynote speaker.
Okay.
And we have a community partner panel as well. We'll have the likes of Lauren Skidmore with the Open Door Network. We'll have Ophelia Flores with the Tejon Indian Tribe advocacy program. We have a gentleman by the name of Carter Beasley who'll be speaking because it also affects our LGBT community. So we have all of those speakers, and then we have some classes, some breakout sessions where we're going to have a lady that works with Open Door Network, Eileen, who's going to be speaking on what services the Open Door Network provides and just different things like that. We have actually Deborah Rush from Fresno, California, who is the CEO and founder of Breaking the Change.
Right. I know Deborah.
Yeah, she's going to be coming and doing a breakout session on trauma-informed care for survivors.
Okay.
Yes, so we got a nice lineup.
All right. So you convinced me. I'm going to be there.
All you have to do is register. It's free to the public, and all you have to do is register.
Can we do some podcasting from there?
Yeah, if you want to, come on.
We'll bring some promotion of that.
Come on with it.
We'll introduce some interviews and some other stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
we might even live stream from there.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm
anything to get the word out. I'm all for it.
This is something I care about deeply. And I care as a dad probably more than I did before, but I've always cared and had a heart for this. Like this is like just injustice at a scale that you cannot fathom. And something like evil.
It is a form, trafficking is a form of modern day slavery.
Yeah.
All they did was take us off the auction block and put us on the street.
Well, you know, I'm sure you are well aware of this, but what most people don't realize, you see all these people selling flowers on the street corner and all that stuff. They're being trafficked too.
That can be labor trafficking.
Yeah.
When I do my trainings, I talk about how many people, I ask a question, how many people have went to Mexico and on a cruise? And when you get off
on missions, but
so when you get off the boat and you go on the bus and they drop you off, who are the people that are waiting for you there? They're kids with the chiclets and all that kind of stuff. Those could be trafficking. They may not be, but they can be trafficking. That's labor trafficking.
What do you say? More likely they are than they aren't?
More likely they are. Yes, absolutely. That's a form of labor trafficking.
Okay, so how does someone get info or get registered to come to this event if they want to learn more about getting out there? Like I think this is something every parent should be at, right?
Absolutely.
So let's give them some reasons to be there. Why would a parent like a parent like me, like I care, you know that like I care too much. That's the thing I get accused of all the time. But I care about what kind of a future we're leaving for our children.
Absolutely.
But let's say it's regular, average, everyday Joe, school teacher, plumber. Like, why would they want to go?
They would want to go because awareness is key. And we're going to give you information on different things to look for. There's going to be so many resources there. We have the probation department. We have garden pathways. We have Tohono Indian tribe. We have the Open Door Network. Not only are they speaking, but they're going to have resource tables there as well. And we have this organization called Changes because with Jabre Dixon, because what happens is a lot of times these individuals, they go to jail. So he works with individuals from jail. So this, all these different entities and organizations are going to be there. So not only are you going to get to hear the signs, the symptoms, the myths, the facts, and be able to have conversations with these individuals, these different individuals. Awareness is key. Prevention is key.
Yeah.
Prosecution is key. So these are all those 3 P's. These are all the things that they're going to get at this conference. We want you to be well informed, to be able to make a informed decision, because as we always say, if you see something, say something, even if you're wrong.
Now, as a parent, here's something that I imagine you could talk on. What's a reason to go? I've heard stories of kids being trafficked right under their parents' noses.
Oh, I prior to working for
so
Kern
don't think
County
it can't happen in your home.
Absolutely. Prior to working for Kern County Superintendent of School, I was a high school counselor.
Yeah.
And I can remember on a Monday, I was in Sacramento helping with a bill. On Tuesday, when I came back, I went into the office and there was a young lady in the office crying.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was maybe a boyfriend situation, something. And so I asked her, was she okay? She said yes. She was still crying as I passed by again, maybe 15 minutes later, still crying. By the 3rd time, I'm like, okay, get in my office. What is going on? What is wrong? She gives me her phone. She met somebody online on Sunday. I wasn't at work on Monday. She showed me her phone on Tuesday. Within 48 hours, he had pictures of her. He was threatening to kill her grandmother. He was threatening, I will send your pictures to your whole school. That's why parents should come, because
she's the one you knew about.
She's the one I knew about. So it's time out for us to not be in our kids' business. It's time out for us to know what to look for, to show our kids to show our kids that we care.
Yeah.
It's not about the cell phones.
Before
Absolutely. And I'm sure you heard about the little 10-year-old girl who was taken out of her. Well, she wasn't taken out of her home, but she was lured out of her home through roadblocks.
I won't just let my kids touch that thing.
Just here in Taft. It was in Taft, and they found her in Elk Grove. So thank God, supposedly nothing happened to her. But look at everything.
So if you're watching this, you don't know
through.
where Taft is, just west of Bakersfield. Elk Grove is just south of Sacramento.
Yes. And we don't know what he could have done to that little. She was 10. He was in his 20s.
What, 4.5 hours apart.
Yes. And just think where Bakersfield is. We're in the middle of
the state. Yeah.
LA, Sacramento.
We're 4 hours from everything.
From everything. And that's just how quick your child can disappear.
Yeah.
So you need to know what's going on. You need to know what to look for. We're going to have so many resources. We're going to have resources on internet protections and everything.
Well, and I think that there's things that, like someone like me that's frankly is innocent and naive, and I haven't had any of those trauma things. Like you're in a grocery store not paying attention, your kid's on the other aisle looking at toys, and you're like, oh, they'll come back in a second.
Yep. Gone. But here's, even since you mentioned a grocery store, when I do my trainings at BC, we talk about, it's not just the kids. You could be a target. As a woman, you could be a target.
Right. I don't think they're going to come after me.
Not you. How many times
How
many times have you seen women walk through the grocery store with their purse in the basket and their purse is open?
Yeah.
Because we're just looking. And what if we turn around and grab something out of the frozen department, the frozen freezer? Somebody can put an air tag off. They can throw that air tag in their purse and follow them because they have nothing but time.
Right.
They have nothing but time. And if that's who they want, say it's your wife. If that's who they want, they're going to scope out the scene. They're going to find out where she lives. They're going to pay attention to her habits and which way she goes and all those different things. to get her when they want her.
So Des, this thing on Saturday, can
Yes.
kids go to this, or like what does that look like?
I would say everybody could go to it.
Like, is there like an age that you're like, that's too young, it's not appropriate?
I think parents have to know their children and be able to explain. I've been in rooms where I saw little kids there and I was like, I hope nothing is too much for them. And the parents like, it's okay, I can explain it. So I think as a parent, everyone should be there. And you can always walk out. We will have some psychologists there.
I do take my older two kids to a lot of this kind of stuff. So my youngest is 10, or my youngest is 7. He's 2, he'll be running on the stage. but the older two are 10 and 12.
Yes, and, I would definitely say it. Because remember, we say the average age of entry is 11. Okay, well, that kid is 10. Your kid is 10. And we don't know what that particular.
So are you going to be talking about what they should know too?
Absolutely. We talk about it all. We talk about it all, because a lot of times, just because you see us as adults up on that stage, we were trafficked most of the time as kids.
Of course,
So so they need to know. We need to know the signs.
I mean, really, frankly, unless you got a pre-existing engagements, prior engagements, like what reason you're serving breakfast,
continental breakfast.
You're having all these speakers. You can bring your kids. Like,
yes.
What's
so be there. There's no reason not to be there. I have my website, and then I post the flyer on social media. All you have to do is register. It's free. Everything is free. All you have to do is register.
And we'll make sure that the website is up on this video. Should already be up right now. So this website that's down below us, go to that website, and it'll be in the comments. You guys can click on it as well.
Absolutely.
You guys definitely. And if you can't make this one, you're going to be doing more of these.
We always do them. There's so many different things that we do.
Can they follow you on social, or what's the best way?
They can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook as Des Perkins. I'm on Instagram as Des Perkins. My nonprofit's name is Empowerment on Facebook and Instagram. My website is for my nonprofit is empowermentdp.org. You can follow me anywhere. You can follow me anywhere.
And is there a phone number, hotline, anything like that, or
the phone number that to get in touch with us is on the website. I do not know it by heart. I do not know it by heart, but it is on the website.
If they're gonna call, they have to have a phone, and every phone has a internet browser on it. So
so the number is all I remember is the first 3 digits, 599.
All right. Well, Des, man, you pulled at my heartstrings.
That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to do, because my goal is to honestly have everyone aware. That is the key thing. And then once you're aware, you can, if you see something, say something. It's not just, it's about protecting your family, but what kind of humans are we if we're not trying to protect everyone?
Amen. All right. Well, thank you, Des. We're gonna have you back later in the year or whatever.
I would love to come back.
Anytime you have an event that you want to promote, you just talk to me. You let me know, and I'll make sure that you get it.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Anyway, guys, go check it out. Empowermentdp.com. Until next time, have a great day. God bless.
Bye.